All right, guys, so welcome to this Yin session, which I kind of thought would be nice for us to take a little bit of time just to let go of the year that's just been. So not this one that's just started today. We're all right with this one so far. But let go of the year that's just been, but also at the same time try and take from the year some positivity, some things that we've learned and some things that would be good for us to take with us into the next year. So not all negative, not all having to just brush it under the carpet, pretend it didn't happen. We're definitely using it as a tool to help us move forward from here. Okay, so I'm sat on a blanket just to lift my hips a little bit. And we'll start here in this shape, Sukhasana, easy pose. One foot in front of the other. Make sure you've got your ankles on your mat so you don't get sore ankles there. And my other blanket, I'm just going to place it onto my legs here. And you don't have to have two blankets, it's fine. You can just rest like this without the blanket. I'm going to place my right hand on top of my left hand because my right hand is my dominant hand. So if your left hand is your dominant hand, put the left hand on top and then press your thumbs together. It's called Dhyani Mudra, and we just let the hands rest there on the lap, maybe on the blanket or just on the lap. So feel your thumbs pressing together, and imagine this shape that you've made with your hands, this mudra, like a bowl. And we'll let the eyes close, so top eyelids just resting on the bottom eyelid softly. And as you close that window into the external world, it's like shutting the curtains so that you can see nice and clearly within. Allow yourself to settle and just acclimatize to the sounds that are around you so that they don't surprise you and disturb you throughout this next hour. Notice smells. Notice the temperature. Just using all the senses to help you settle into the space. And once you feel comfortable, you feel like you've made yourself at home within yourself and within your space, letting all of that go, just start to bring your awareness to your breathing and how you're breathing. So let the air float in and out through the nose. Allow all your senses just to relax. Start to deepen your breathing. We can use a breathing exercise called Ujjayi breath, where you press the back of the tongue into the back of the throat, just constricting the airway a little to make a wave-like sound as you breathe. If that doesn't make any sense for you, just continue to work on breathing deeply. But this Ujjayi breathing just helps you to hear the breath a little bit louder. Helps you to create that internal heat. It just generally gives you something bigger to focus on. As you breathe in and out through the nose, imagine with the breath in that you're drawing up energy from the bowl that you've created in your hands. With the exhale, we just relax. So imagine your hands filled to the brim with energy, with positivity, and the breath in, you're dragging that energy up in through your nose and into your body. And the breath out, just relaxing. So every round, slowing your breathing down. Imagining with the breath in, sucking up the positivity and energy from the bowl that you've created within your hands. And the exhale, just relaxing. Your breathing is getting so slow now that you're starting to notice the pauses in between the breaths. So once you get to the top of your inhale, there's that natural pause. And once you get to the bottom of the exhale, there's that natural pause as you hold the breath out. The inhale, filling yourself up with that energy and positivity that you have within your hands. And the exhale, just relaxing into your bodies and into the space. Use your imagination. Visualize. Use any tools you can to help you stay here. Notice if anything starts to feel different. And relax into the changes. I'm going to take a breath in all together. Then get to the top of your inhale. Hold the breath there at the top. Imagine now that all the stresses and strains of the year just gone. And you're going to open your mouth and exhale and let them all out. Breathe in, get to the top of the inhale. Hold the breath there at the top. You've taken in all that positivity and all that energy from the bowl in your hands. Now, as you open your mouth, exhale as fully as you can. So much more than you did last time, letting go of all the tension, all the stress that you've had this year. Last time, breathing in. Imagine that river of positivity and energy drawing in through your nose and into your body. You're holding your breath at the top. Now, when we get to the exhale, I'm going to count for 5, and you have to keep exhaling for those 5 whole counts. So open mouth and exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right at the bottom of your exhale, empty yourself completely. And then take that breath in. Let's just breathe normally now, in and out your nose. Hopefully just that little bit of pranayama has helped to shift a little bit of energy. But bringing your awareness back to the pool of energy within your hands, just bring your hands side by side now, cupping, making almost like a cup shape that you can hold that river of energy, that river of positivity within your hands. Visualize it glistening with sparkles and positivity, whatever you think represents positivity to you. Maybe it's sunshine. And as if you were splashing water on your face, take your hands to your face and just splash that energy, that positivity onto your face, wiping your eyes, wiping your cheeks, wiping your forehead. And you try and keep your eyes closed, and you can just rest your hands back down onto the blanket or into your lap. So notice what you feel on your face. Allow yourself just to sit in this space. And don't forget, you can change your seat anytime. So from here, just keep your eyes closed, and you can keep the blanket there and just start to walk your hands forwards and let your forehead rest towards the floor. So coming into that forward fold, bring any props into it that you like. So you could have your blocks in front of you. You could bring your pillow in front of you. Wherever you are, try and keep your sit bones rooted down into the mat. And try and relax your body, maybe over your legs, maybe over the blanket, maybe over the blocks, the pillows. Any way that you can just relax the shape. Keep your eyes closed and keep a really nice steady rhythm with your breathing. We're going to be here for a few moments, maybe a few minutes. So for this first moment, just focus on what you feel in your body. They say that your experiences are felt within your body. So maybe you can feel whatever's been happening for you this year in your backs, in your hips. Maybe you can feel where you've been holding on to tension and to tightness. Maybe you've not even noticed the stress that you've been holding on to. And maybe now in this yin shape, where we're not holding on to muscles, where we're trying to relax into the bones and the joints. Can you feel the year so far in the year that's just gone, in your back, in your hips? And the longer, the deeper that you breathe within this pose, can you visualize it melting out of your joints? Freeing up the spaces in between the joints. So you can fill them with positive energy. So you can fill them with lightness. Take one more breath here. So walk your way back up, and you're just going to bring your other foot in front. So the leg of the hip that's in front is the hip that's going to get the biggest stretch here. So again, settling yourself into the shape, making any adjustments that you need to. Yes, if you can keep your eyes closed, you keep them closed. drape yourself over whatever you can drape yourself over, but keep your sit bones rooted into the mat. And it's important to notice as well with each transition into each different pose, how do you transition from each pose? Do you jolt yourself out of that meditative state that you've managed to sink into, or that place that you've managed to sink into? And can you make the transition into the next pose part of the journey? A little like how we've transitioned from month to month, restrictions to no restrictions. Maybe there's been times throughout the year where that change has been difficult to do, that transition has been difficult to do smoothly. But maybe now we can make it smooth as we transition from each resting place. This whole last year has been one whole new experience for all of us. It's nice to think that we are not our experiences. Those experiences that we've had this year, it does not define who we are. Maybe this hour we can focus on remembering who we truly are once we've peeled away all the layers of books we've read, of films we've watched, of moments we've had, stripping them all away to remember who we truly are, and we're taking that truth with us into this next year. Slowly bring yourself back up to seated. Rest your hands again onto your lap, thumbs touching, right hand, if that's your dominant hand, on top. We're going to do a little Kriya now, just to help cleanse your system a little bit more. It's a little bit complicated, but once you get it, it's quite effective. All you're going to do is take a breath in through your nose, exhale completely, and then you're going to breathe in just halfway. And as you exhale the air from your nose, you pump your belly in. So it looks a little bit like this. So it might take a few goes to get, but give it your best shot. Okay, so let's take a breath in all together. Open mouth and exhale, let it go. Breathe in halfway. Force the exhale out your nose and pump your belly in 30 times. If you lose it, pick it back up again. On the 30th, exhale completely through your nose. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth and exhale, let it out. Breathe in halfway. 30 pumps. Pumping the belly back with each exhale of breath. You inhale enough after each exhale to keep it going, to not run out of breath. Once you get to 30, exhale completely. Inhale fully, last round. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Breathe in halfway. Exhale, 30 pumps. Little, pushing the exhale out the nose, and you get as little inhale after each exhale. Important to feel the belly pump back with each exhale. Really getting that cleansing motion going, that kriya, helping to cleanse you of whatever needs to shift. Once you get to your 30th, exhale completely. Breathe in fully. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. And just notice the effects of that. Breathe in and out through your nose. Hopefully you haven't become dizzy. And hopefully if you didn't manage that, you haven't lost your way. Yeah, so if you have lost your way, just start to breathe deeply again. If there's anything that you don't quite get today, don't worry about it. It's another thing to learn. Catch hold of opposite elbows, lift your arms up to the sky and up and over your head. Try and lift up super tall, like you're pushing the crown of the head up into your arms. You're going to lean over towards the left, pulling onto that right elbow to get a nice stretch all through the right side. Coming back up to the center, we'll lean over towards the other side and pulling onto the left elbow to try and get that nice stretch all through the left side. Coming back to the center, start to twist towards the right. You really want to push down through your left sit bone as you twist to the right. And then coming back to the center, twist to the other side and press down through the opposite sit bone. Coming back to the center, release the hands. Draw 3 big circles with the shoulders one way. And then 3 big circles with the shoulders the other way. Good. You can take your blanket away, and we're going to take the right leg out in front and bring the sole of the left foot to your inner right thigh. Remember, the transition is part of the journey. If you have blocks, you can set them back up there, and you can place your pillow on top of the blocks or just have the pillow in front. And then just start to reach the hands forwards over the pillow. Maybe you're on your forearms here. Maybe your arms are draping over the pillow, chin onto the pillow. Okay, we're going to be here for a few moments, maybe a few minutes. Try to let go of muscles. Yeah, so I know that usually I would be telling you to root down through the right heel, to press down through the right sit bone. But here in this yin practice, we want to let go of the muscles. And you want to try and find a place that is comfortable within this shape. That left hip getting a nice opening, and the right hamstring getting the stretch. If you have got a pillow, and you can drape your arms over the edge, getting a little bit of a stretch there through the armpits and the chest. And letting the breath just let you relax and melt into this shape. While we're here, just thinking about all the thoughts that might have passed through your mind already just in this short time. And all the thoughts that have passed through your mind throughout this last year. So those thoughts that arrive within your brain and then become a narrative, like this whole story just from this one thought takes you on a journey that isn't real, that isn't part of you. Has there been moments this year where a thought has turned into a narrative, which has then turned into something negative and then become a problem for you? Maybe a worry about shielding or the people that you love, or feeling restricted. It's good to remember that all those worries have come from a thought which is not you. It's a thought that has become a narrative which has become something else. So if we can recognize that within this moment, and then recognize where you feel that within your body, tightness in your shoulders, maybe you see it on your face, in your eyes, in your skin. Just noticing those things, becoming aware of them, helps us to stop them from happening, or to not allow that process to happen, not allow it to go as far as it goes. Walk your way back up. And you can try and keep your eyes closed here if you can. And we are simply going to change legs. Okay, so bringing the other leg out, making the transition as part of the journey, not changing anything. And again, just relaxing forwards into your shape, to wherever you feel comfortable, letting go of muscles. Finding the yin. Yeah, finding the yin in the shape. Noticing thoughts that pop up. And how quickly can you jump in before it becomes a narrative, a story, a whole journey? Instead, relaxing into your joints, into your bones. Try and bypass your muscles. Notice changes in your body, in your skin, in your face that have happened this year. Can you get to the root of that within this shape with your breath? Knowing that you are not your experiences, and knowing that you are not your thoughts. Look, for a moment, is there somewhere that's tight and not releasing? Can you send all your awareness to that place? Can you relax into this moment? I heard someone describe it like, imagine your butter and you're melting. Carefully start to walk your way back up, and remember, keep your eyes closed if you can. Transition lightly into the next pose, and we're going to come into a wide leg forward fold now. I came into this shape earlier and it was such an ah moment. I'm sure it will be for you too. So stack as much as you can in between your legs. Maybe place the blanket on top of there as well, whatever you've got. And then just relax forwards. Legs don't have to be wide, just where it feels comfortable. And then relax over your pillow, your blocks, whatever you've got. You could let your head maybe turn one side if you've managed to get down low enough. If it's hard for you to relax in this shape, you could come onto your forearms. But do try and stack yourself up enough so that you can drape into the shape. Nice. Yeah. And then as you breathe, how does it feel in your hips, in your hamstrings? How does it feel now that you know and your body knows you are not your experiences and you are not your thoughts? Although we have been shaped by things we have seen, things we have learned, things we have read, places we have been. We are not that thing. We are not our thoughts. Can you relax your hips? Can you relax your hamstrings? Can you relax your upper body? Can you get to a point where you almost want to come out of the pose? But you stay there just a little bit longer. Maybe that visualization of butter melting helped you. In which case you can just imagine that. Imagine your body like butter melting into the shape. Maybe something else works for you. It's good to know that while you lie here, in a shape that is shielding your heart, protecting your heart, that you are not your emotions either. Isn't that a relief to know? Every moment of the day, there's some kind of emotion, some kind of feeling that's going through our bodies and our minds. And this last year has certainly brought up lots of different ones for all of us. Ones that we are used to dealing with by doing what we do. Without being able to do those things, those emotions have increased tenfold. But we are not our emotions. And we know that because we can change the way we react. So if you're not included in the family Zoom party this year, you could get hurt and be upset, or you could imagine that there's a different reason. So we can always lessen the emotional stress by seeing the other side of the picture, seeing the bigger picture, getting past our initial reaction, and just being happy with that. Carefully bring yourself back up. And you can keep your eyes closed. You might need to now just take the hands behind you and bring your legs together. Maybe you'll just take your feet a different direction so you can bring them together, and then just inner and outer rotate the legs. Your structure that you've got out in front of you, if you bring your knees so they're facing alongside it and your hip so it's quite up close, and you're going to twist yourself over your padding, your structure, and try and turn your head away from your knees, and then just relax the hands either side of your structure, your bolster, your pile of pillows and cushions. Getting a nice gentle little twist here. It's good if you can have your knees stacked on top of each other. And if you feel like looking away from your knees is too much, you can always look to your knees. Here, focus on your breathing while you relax your muscles. It's another great place to be is it within a twist to get that cleansing action, that cleansing motion. So with the breath in, your belly's expanding within this twist. And with the breath out, the belly's drawing back. Body is relaxing, joints are relaxing, muscles are relaxing. And although we're in a twist, I always think of it like we're unwinding rather than winding. So all those knots, all those little rivers of stress and tension within your body, feel them unwind within this shape. I always like to think that we would relax so much that we would dribble. So if you're dribbling, you're doing well. Let your body unravel in this shape. It's a long time to stay in this place. So if you're still here, well done. If you're still with your breath, if you've still got your eyes closed, and even if you've had moments where you've drifted away into a narrative, into a thought that has become a whole story, that's okay. It's just being aware of it and coming right back. Press into your hands to lift yourself back up. And you're simply going to move your knees to the other side. Again, stacking your knees on top of each other. And again, just resting your body over your platform, whatever it is that you created, and let your head fall to the other side. Yeah, so that the head faces away from the knees. If your body's anything like mine, it's breathing a sigh of relief now just to get into that other space, that different stretch. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. Allow your body to unwind within this twist. Eyes closed, jaw relaxed, which means you might be dribbling. With every breath, tracing the inner landscape of your body. So my teacher always calls it the inner landscape. one beautiful moment of the year just gone was the sessions that we held on Pobble's Beach. So if you got there, then you'll know what I mean. But it was beautiful to teach everyone within that space, seeing the mountains, the cliffs, the sea, the sand, the rocks, the pebbles, feeling and seeing that whole landscape around us, and then bringing that thought within us, that inner landscape within us. Noticing the heart, the lungs like mountains, the spleen like cliffs, your cells like pebbles. The rivers are fluid like the sea, and the little rivers that come from the cliffs. As you breathe in this shape, unwinding your body, visualize that inner landscape. Visualize, imagine, use your imagination. Use it to help you stay here. One more breath here. Bringing the hands back underneath you and picking yourself back up. And we're going to come into our child's pose now with the knees either side of your structure. Yeah, so big toes touching, knees open wide. Again, make yourself comfortable, but transition within yourself, within the moment. Try not to jerk yourself anywhere. And then relax and melt over your structure in your wide leg child's pose. You can turn your head to one side if that feels good. You can adjust, maybe put the blanket underneath your knees. And then once you're comfortable, drop back into the rhythm of your breathing. Drop back into where you feel tight, where you feel uncomfortable. And then how can you find ease and comfort? Can you notice when you get drawn away from where you should be? Can you notice when a thought arises, and can you stop that thought before it becomes a whole novel? Can you notice if emotions pop up as you lie here or sit here in this child's pose shape? What are you feeling? Although you're not that emotion, you can feel it and you can learn from it. You can embrace it. Give yourself this moment to surrender. What is it that you have learned from this year so far? From last year, sorry. What have you learned from being restricted? What have you learned from not being able to do the things you would normally do to make you feel better? What have you learned about the people that you surround yourself with? And how do they fit with you? What have you noticed about how you've reacted to this year just gone? I'm sure there's lots there that you will be and should be super proud of. Take those good things and fill yourself up with them. If there was anything that you discovered that you didn't like, let it go. Make a change. Slowly start to bring yourself back up. Now you bring your knees together and we're actually going to flip onto our backs now. So I'm going to move this so you guys can see me better, but you might be all right then. I'm going to take my blanket, my other blanket, if you've got two, that's great. I'm going to lay our backs over your structure and then bring your soles of the feet together, knees open, and just place your other blanket over your legs or over your body. And of course, all of it's optional. Maybe you're nice and toasty warm there. But, yeah. Make sure you're completely comfortable and that your back is completely relaxed over the structure. And, you know, take time to fiddle and make it perfect for you. Again, just transitioning though within the journey. You can rest your hands, palms faced up, down by your side. And just let the whole back of your body melt over your structure. If you wanted to, you could maybe pile some blocks underneath your outer thighs, just so your knees don't open so much. But if you're comfortable, just let those knees open completely and work on letting go of all the muscles. Yeah. Let go of all those muscles in your hips, in your back, in your jaw, shoulder blades, ankles. Just let go of every single muscle. Let gravity do its job. They say that the hips hold all your emotional stress and the psoas holds trauma from very, very early on in your life. So if we can spend time in this shape, allowing gravity to open it and relax it. And then if you can use your visualization and your imagination to let that trauma melt like butter out of those places. Maybe you want to focus on the year just gone. I know from my own experience being a mum and doing the job that I do, I've been keeping strong. I've been the motivator of the household. I've been the person to keep things going within the business. So it's taken me a while to be able to let all of that go. And this whole last week I've been building up to it. And it presented itself after the last class, where I just let go and all the tears flooded out, unfortunately, a little bit earlier than was appropriate. But it had to happen. And I imagine it's the same for you. Whatever you've been keeping hold of, keeping together, you can't do it forever. There has to come a time when you just let go. When you dribble, when you cry, when you release. And if we are not our experiences, if we are not our thoughts, if we are not our emotions, you are just you. You are everything that you've learned from this year, all those positive things, the way that you've adapted, the way that you've kept going, the way that you've kept people going. You are the person that managed to stay home. You are the person that crumbled but picked themselves back up again. You are here right now. You are taking this time in this shape to rebuild. Take your feet to the corners of the mat. Let your feet turn outwards, palms stay faced up. Make sure you're completely relaxed. Your jaw is so relaxed, you feel like you've almost got a double chin, or maybe you've got a double chin. So you're really relaxing your throat. I always liken it to when a baby falls asleep. When they fall asleep in your arms, at first they're light. And then as they get sleepy, they get heavier and heavier and more like butter within your arms. Try and get to that place. Eyes closed, face completely relaxed. Give yourself permission to be here. You could imagine with every breath just filling yourself up with that positivity, that energy, that love, that appreciation, that pride in everything that you've achieved in the last year. And after today's session, maybe you just take with you what was helpful, what was needed. You let go of anything that was not needed, didn't help. Let's not forgetting those hard moments that are difficult to accept. things you've learned about yourself that are difficult to accept and difficult to change. Sometimes the not so good is good. Take all your awareness to your toes without moving anything. Just take your awareness to your toes. Allow your awareness to move to the pads of your feet, to the arches of your feet, the heels of your feet. Visualize every step you've taken on those feet. Hours and hours of walks. Take your awareness to your ankles, your calves, your shins, kneecaps, quads and hamstrings. Take some time in your hips, that emotional center. Does it feel freer? Let your belly rise and fall as you breathe. Remember back to that inner landscape. Within your rib cage, seeing your lungs, your heart. Imagine them like mountains, cliffs, spleen, your kidneys, the digestive system like the river. Take your awareness to your shoulder blades, your arms, your hands. Those lovely arms that will one day hug another. Feel the back of the head resting on your structure, on your pillow, on the floor. And let your jaw relax so much you can feel your throat relax. Top eyelids resting on your bottom eyelids. The breath flowing freely in and out through your nose. Allow yourself to rest completely. I'd like to give you the option to continue to be in this place if you can. So if you could stay here a little longer, then just stay there. Just ignore me. If you've given yourself an hour and that is all you can give, then start to move your fingers and your toes. I like to brush my thumbs over my fingertips, just feeling that connection to myself. And you can then start to roll over onto the right hand side. You might roll off your structure for a moment. And take a moment there just to settle, to notice those rivers start to move in a different direction. Notice your body. And keep your eyes closed as you come up to seated, sitting in any shape that feels comfortable to you. Let your muscles relax. Let your skeleton hold you up. Just notice and observe how you feel, even if it's perhaps not too positive, or maybe it's relaxed. Whatever you're feeling, observe it. And set the intention to take lessons that you've learned from the year just gone, taking the positive parts of what you've discovered about yourself. Maybe in the background, there's some things that you can work on and start to change from the lessons that you've learned. Not to create a new you, but just to work on this already perfect you. Bring the hands back into that bowl shape with the edges of the hands pressing together. So like you're holding your hands out to be filled with water. And visualize them filled with energy, with positivity. You can think of that as like a shimmering pool or a sparkling pool or a sunshine-filled pool. Whatever represents or fits well with you in your imagination. And then as you did at the beginning, just taking the hands to the face and washing and splashing your face with that positivity, with that lightness, with that sparkling, with that energy. Wiping it over your eyes, over your cheeks, over your nose, your chin. And bringing the palms to the heart center, the thumbs into your chest bone. Make that connection with yourself. And through the thumbs, can you feel your heartbeat? If you can't quite feel it, then just imagine, visualize it. Visualize the thumping of the heartbeat. Just let it humble you. Humble you to your body, your vessel. You will feel stress and tension in your body. So set an intention to look after it, to not ignore it. It will only hold on for so long. We'll take one Om all together, and if you haven't done an Om before, then And then just listen. We'll take a breath in through the nose all together. Open mouth and exhale, let it out. Then take another breath in through your nose. As you exhale, say the word Om. Om. Bringing the thumbs up to the center of the forehead. And bowing to yourself, congratulating yourself for everything that you have been through, done this last year. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. Take your time. It'd be great if you have time to send me any feedback. Or if maybe there's some things you'd like to discuss. I'm super happy to have conversations with you guys and see if there's, if there's something that needs talking to with someone, then I can be that person for you. Hope you all feel relaxed and free, maybe of some stuff. Thank you guys. Have a beautiful rest of the evening.